Have you ever heard of peer-reviewed skincare? You would think all these skincare brands follow the same evolution. Many take advantage of this and the vague claims around it, making us believe their products are backed by hard science and truth. In reality, that's not the case. Today, I'll be talking about Regimen Lab. They don't just create skincare. They conduct their own rigorous testing all themselves. Their approach isn't just about using proven ingredients. If a formula isn't perfect, they won't make it. When it comes to skincare, being in the beauty industry, everything that you see, quality isn't something that is really there a lot of the time. Most of the money actually goes into the design of the packaging and the marketing. The stuff that's inside isn't really that expensive. It's sometimes just really hard to formulate with. This is what makes Regimen Lab completely unique. And they have the research to back that up. And they've really gone far and beyond to make these products so effective in every way. The first product I'll talk about, Tabula Rasa. This is probably one of the only products that I'm going to really diss, and it's all because of the size. Tabula Rasa is a glycerin-based cleanser, very similar to Prequa's cleanser, Experiment Beauty's cleanser, Tower 28's gel cleanser. Mainly around glycerin. In some way, it's like a hydrator, glycerin and betaine. There's nothing in here that will strip your skin. And obviously that's very, very true for a lot of the cleansers that you see these days, but you could even leave this on and it wouldn't do anything bad to your skin. And my experience with using this is that I've had no complaints. Always loved this cleanser. I just don't like the size. I want to use this as a double cleanser. I even want to use this all over the body. I even want to use this as a shampoo because it is just so effective. But the amount you get is just not enough. For that reason, I'm just going to say that if you're wanting to get this product, at least get it in one of their kits because you pretty much just get it for free. It's just the fact that out of pure convenience, it would be nice to have a larger bottle, and that's all I'm really going to say about that. The next product I'm going to talk about is their Wave Serum. You'll see this along their products is that they're always going to try update it if they have the information for it. I really, really do like this. I'm not stuck or stubborn on one product like my holy grail and never changing again. I did really like the first few versions, but I will say that since they've changed the formula, there have been times where I haven't liked it as much, but they have been more effective. It's actually quite genius how this hydrator is so much more superior than other hydrators. The only comparison I can put this to is probably Experiment Beauty's hydrator, or like their serum. As of recently, I just finished Experiment Beauty's hydrator, but it's not just a hydrating serum. It goes further and beyond from that. So apart from just having the glycerin in here, I believe it's called hydroxyethylurea at 10%. And what it's really known for is very deep hydration. It does it much better than HA does. Along with that, they also have, I'm going to try to say this, acetaminophenol. I think I said that right. Also a 10%, gold standard to hydration. It delivers way better because it is a type of alcohol that drives into the skin. It stays within the skin. This is very beneficial for dehydration that actually gives you like a very aged appearance, a perfect example of an ingredient that fixes problems in more than just a superficial way, which is why it's kind of like a gold standard. Apart from these three hydrators that make up 30% of this formula, also got all the parts of the centella plant in here too. You'll also see brands also use certain parts of the centella plant. If you think of Cicaplast, or just one of the components of the centella plant and not the others. What's beneficial about using all of them is that you get all the benefits from the centella plant. And if you don't know anything about centella, you've been living under a rock. Has so many benefits for redness, and it's also considered an antioxidant as well. But obviously it's a plant. It's not just friendly for sensitive skin, but it actually has many benefits for sensitive skin and people who obviously suffer from rosacea and acne. So when you use all the components of the centella plant, that's when you're really truly going to get the benefits of the centella. You won't see this nearly as often when someone says, oh yeah, there's centella in here. This is the most friendly out of all of the products, and I really, really love this. My barrier was maintaining its best function when using this. The actual function of my skin, turnover, and the health of it was the best because of this. This has to be one of the most elegant hydrators I've ever had in my life. It feels so similar to a primer that I truly believe you could use this as a primer and it would be way better than most primers. I love this. I feel like this is by far the one that I would recommend the first and most, but you have to really appreciate hydrators to really appreciate this too. If you're looking for this or not, you will definitely see what hydrators can really do when you use this. Absolutely love this. The next one that I will talk about is Level. So Level is their anti-inflammatory, anti-hyperpigmentation serum. And they've got 2 serums that do this for hyperpigmentation. Or I should say 3 now. For a moment, their best-selling product as well for a while. This is quite a friendly serum as well. I think that this is a powerhouse kind of serum because this is full of ingredients that I think that would benefit most people as well, because you've got your hydrator, but this is not so much a hydrating serum. If anything, I could even describe this as a toner because it is quite fluid in its formula and it doesn't have much viscosity to it. So it doesn't have much body to it. It's really thin. With all the combination of ingredients in here, it's supposed to be more for anti-hyperpigmentation. So it's an anti-pigment or a tyrosinase inhibitor. So it blocks melanin, but it also tries to fade and brighten. So you could also call this like a brightening serum too. So it uses a combination of everything that they know about tyrosinase inhibitors, soothing ingredients, and also anti-inflammatories all together. It would be nice to have a product that is both Level and Wave together. I can see anyone using both of them. In Level Serum, niacinamide. So we all know the benefits of niacinamide, the way that it does reduce redness and does help with the appearance of pores and refines texture. But I do like that it's at a 5% in here, but 5% is where it's supposed to be and where the real results are. And I've really never seen true benefits unless it's actually a lower concentration, because it really can get irritating at high levels, but very soothing at low levels. Alongside that, they have 2% NAG, and that's for sure. It's N-acetylglucosamine. I believe I'm saying that right, is N-acetylglucosamine. So this is supposed to be soothing and also for a lot of benefits for pigment. So this has hydrating benefits, brightening benefits, and obviously it has some anti-aging benefits as well. So this is what you would call a tyrosinase inhibitor, so blocks pigment. It's considered a pro-tyrosinase to tyrosinase, if that makes sense. To put it short, it's utilized as a preventative and also to maintain healthy skin barrier levels. Anything to do with redness as well, it's really good for. It's very similar to niacinamide in benefits, but I believe it really balances anything to do with wound healing, anything to do with actual breakouts as well. So this is really good for people with any consistent breakouts as well. Why Level pairs well with Wave is because it stimulates and encourages natural hyaluron levels within our own body. Hydrate and hold that hydration even more. It really does have a purpose, is what I'm saying, in a very functional way. But it also synergistically works very well with niacinamide. Being a tyrosinase inhibitor, it's like a perfect 3, and which is why I'm also saying this would be perfect actually being in one formula with Wave. And that's just the first 2 that's in here. It also has 3% tranexamic acid and alpha-arbutin. Alpha-arbutin is probably one of what we would call a star ingredient for anything to do with hyperpigmentation. Is found in plants and also fruits and also within our own body. That really can or has been shown, as long as it's at, I believe, at 2%. Why I go on about this is because alpha-arbutin is a pigment blocker and it also reverses signs of pigmentation and brighten. It actually does brighten rather than just blocking pigment. It actually gets rid of pigment too. That 2%, which is the standard across the board. And then you've got the 3% tranexamic acid. While there's a lot of benefits using it. The research behind it really goes back to how it's delivered, but they have found that when you're using it topically, being a tyrosinase inhibitor. So everything that we know about hyperpigmentation and pigment and getting rid of it, they've utilized it all in one product. You won't see many products out there that uses all the research that we know and combines that all together in a harmonious way to make one product that is for hyperpigmentation and is also friendly to use. Because you will find that it's quite difficult out there to find a good hyperpigmentation serum that doesn't just focus on one area or one ingredient, but uses all those ingredients in one to make a better product. And what I do like about this is that they didn't just use retinol, because you really could have just used retinol or AHAs or anything to do with exfoliating, but they were able to do this without being aggressive. So this is the only true product that I know that uses all the research we know about hyperpigmentation without being aggressive, and it's actually quite beneficial in other ways. So I love this. I did see a lot of improvement within my skin when I use this, and a lot of my pigmentation is gone because of this one product. And I don't say that lightly, because the claims around certain ingredients, and especially with pigmentation or hyperpigmentation ingredients, anything to do with skincare, probably the hardest thing to finding effective skincare with is anything to do with pigment. I believe your best skin is when you get clarity within your skin. This is an impressive product. Vitamin X, just like the name suggests, way more than just B to C. It goes further than that. So this is really a alpha product. If I can put it anyway, this is the alpha of all vitamin C serums. This is really hard to beat. Vitamin X is a antioxidant serum, and its focus is to scavenge free radicals. Apart from being a tyrosinase inhibitor, and a powerful one at that, trans-resveratrol, EGCG. But apart from that, that's not the only things that has in it. It also has this long word that I don't think I'm going to get this time, but it's called dimethylmethoxychromanol. I hope I said that right. But as I'm reading here on the website, it provides double scavenging action on radical nitrogen and oxygen species. So it's really the same as I said before about free radical damage. It is like a powerhouse antioxidant, and it really does behave very similar to vitamin C, and in some ways way better. And then after that, it's also got 2% acetylzingarone, I believe that's how you say it. Reduces immediate and delayed signs of DNA damage. So this is all about DNA damage as well, and all of these are as well, but especially this one. So the acetylzingarone, I believe that's what is derived from the ginger, I believe. Got the ingredients here. So 15% ascorbic acid, trans-resveratrol, HMC here. Also got silymarin, quercetin, and obviously ferulic acid. I'm going to say with my whole heart, I don't think that there is really a vitamin C out there that does this, and also this price and this value and this quality. Unless you really like other vitamin C's out there, that's really all you could say. Everything you know about vitamin C, think of that, but it really ensures that and secures that with this formulation. It's just a very smart way of making a product. I'm having a hard time to really describe this as well, because I feel like everything that we know about vitamin C is just so repetitive. So really what I would be explaining is everything that you already know about vitamin C, but all I can really say is that this has more in it, and this does probably better. I had the hardest time with this because vitamin C is just a finicky product. Really, I'm going to get the same side effects or like setbacks from any other vitamin C serum if they're going to work the same. And it's really hard to say if this was truly effective, because other than the tyrosinase inhibitor abilities and the pigment reducing and brightening abilities that it has in here, the free radical damage and things like that, it's hard to put that into perspective when really you don't see that. These things come from years of using them. So I do trust that this works really well. I didn't really have any other issues using this either. Mine didn't oxidize for the longest time. It lasted me quite a while when it wasn't supposed to, and it stayed the same color. and it just didn't oxidize. I do believe it's because of the way that they've been able to formulate this. Just smart how they've really thought about that, and I appreciate that. The next product I want to talk about is their newest product. So this one is called Azelaic Advanced. So this is the only product I haven't used yet, but I'm dying to try. I've been using azelaic acid for the longest time. I used to hate using it. It has this way of tingling on the skin. Even to this day, I have problems with that, but that's the only thing. Azelaic is actually, as a ingredient, known for like texture, rosacea, redness. It really does everything. Tyrosinase inhibitor, turns the skin over, barrier protective and reparative, known for soothing properties. I can see why they wanted to formulate with it and put their kind of twist on it. The way that they've put azelaic acid, a serum, and not just by using a derivative, and they've solubilized it. Not as simple as you would expect, but it has 10% solubilized azelaic acid, and then they've got 10% azelaic acid derivative, but they've solubilized it. And then it's also got Tasman pepper extract, phytochemicals, other botanicals in here too. This is definitely something that I want to buy. I'm not just going to buy things for the sake of it. And I really don't need any more skincare than I do. Still, this is something that is on my wish list. I would really like to see this with at least in a kit with level or something. And their last product, but certainly not least, is C.R.E.A.M, a ceramide dominant moisturizer. First thing I want to say about this, they use ceramide NP and EOP at 2.5%. It's really hard to mix into a formula, really stubborn, and it doesn't really want to play well with other ingredients, which is probably the highest I've seen. 5% of the panthenol, purified oat actives, 10 ingredient soothing complex for more stinging, relieve the itching. The real function of using a ceramide cream and why people use them, what people really need. So this is truly a repairing cream. I still have this. I do not have the heart to throw this out. Even though it's completely like empty, I just get a Q-tip and I get what I need out of just like the last bits I have. And if there's something that I need to repair, I will just put it there. If anything's going to work, it's going to be that one. So I really use it for extreme cases when I really need it. People were a bit iffy about this when they started to introduce the petrolatum, but it really does help it reduce transepidermal water loss. So this is really truly for like fucked skin. Like if you put it that way, it is. If you've done anything to your skin, this is going to repair it. Personally, my favorite product out of all of them, it's the one product that I feel like I can't really live without, even though I have got like literally none left. I just find this so much more superior. They did have these things called drops for a while. I think they still might have them. And these are like little boosters, only something that Regimen Lab could really do. When you do get a delivery from them, they do offer, I think they still will offer like stickers and stuff like that, but also information cards. You can apply for their research and development testing, so you can be a part of that to test out any new products or new developments that they have to offer, which I would love to be a part of. But you know, I'm in Australia, so I mean, I've tried to apply for it, but they obviously won't do that for Australia. If you enjoyed this video and feel like I deserve it, feel free to subscribe, and thanks for watching.